Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve all of you. Mancha kalpatarupyascha kripa sindhu pyayevacha patitanam pavanibhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So, I know that this verse has been broadcasted, talked about a lot of times. But I think if you ask me personally, as a disciple of Srila 108 Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Asuta Tasara Srimad Anandaras Babaji Maharaj, this is maybe the most important verse when it comes to Manjari Bhav, when it comes to understanding Manjari Bhav. There are several verses who are like, when you make a house, you need a foundation. And when you have Manjari Bhav as a tattva, you need a lot of foundation. You need a good foundation so that you are convinced, so that you can develop Ishtanishta, like Gurudev is saying, to develop Ishtanishta in the lotus feet of Swamini. We should read Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, and to develop Nishta in our chosen path of Manjari Bhav sadhana, we should study Vilapa Kusumanjali. So in this Nishta, that this is our chosen path, and that this is the highest gift Mahaprabhu came to give, that this is Ujjvala Rasa Swabhakti Shriyam. It was never given before, Anarpita Chiram Jyat. So there are several verses, like the Bhagavatam has a very important verse in the middle, this beautiful, important verse. So for Manjari Bhav, you have several verses which make it very clear where the acharyas, where our Goswamis make it very clear what Manjari Bhav is and why it is the highest gift of Mahaprabhu. So there is one beautiful verse in Braja Vilasa Stava, and now today I want to read verse 16 of Vilapa Kusumanjali, because Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, he is called our Prayochan Acharya. He is the one who shows us the goal. Prayochan means the highest goal. So prema definitely is the highest goal. And according to your bhav, in your respective ras, everyone has to understand that prema, pure love of God and his consort, mostly Srimati Radhika, is the highest goal. It is the highest goal a jiva can achieve, prema. And Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Pad, he is the Prayochan Acharya. He is the one who shows us, like a captain on a ship who shows us where we have to go. And he says, this is the goal. He is the teacher. Acharya means teacher by example. And of course, he is teaching by his own example. What is the real goal for those whose bhav is longed for in Manjari Bhav? So we all here are sitting together, aspiring to become a Manjari Bhav Sadak, one who is practicing Manjari Bhav sadhana. And we are very fortunate that we can do this. It's not that one rasa is better than the other. Each rasa is the best for the one who is in that ras. But as followers of Sriman Mahaprabhu and as followers of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas, we are practicing Manjari Bhav sadhana. And this verse number 16 is such a beautiful verse, and Baba's explanation is so deep, long and beautiful, so that everyone can develop their nishta. Nishta means strong faith in this wonderful, wonderful way of worshipping the supreme couple, especially Swamini. So I have here the version I sent in Radhadasyam because my good friend Advaitaji, he is always trying to improve his translation. He always asks me how to do it better and how to do it nicer, grammar and stuff. So the last one was from 2021. It is the edition where he put the beautiful introduction, beautiful foreword in it. So I send it on Radhadasyam and I will read that verse from exactly that edition. It is the newest one, and he told me it may be his final one. So we can all be thankful to our good friend Advaita, that he sat down and over so many decades he translated these very wonderful literatures, we have to say. Thousands and thousands of pages he translated without any computer. You have to imagine that. No DeepL, no super artificial intelligence translation like today. No, he sat down and wrote everything with pen and paper. And then when it became clear that the personal computers will be there, he got a very old machine and he started typing with Windows 98, I remember. So that is wonderful. We are in such a great position, and I feel honored that he considered me as his heir, and he gave me all his translations for the Baba's use. It's not for my use. I don't have to be so arrogant. It's for all of us. He never gave it away to anyone, and he considered me really, I'm so touched by that, as his heir. He has no son, at least not, you know what I mean, to give it away to someone. So he gave it to me, and I gave it to everyone, and we will continue to improve it and publish it as much and as often as possible. So therefore, I always want to give a big thank you to Advaiti, because without him, we would not be here reading these extremely wonderful books. That is a fact. So, this beautiful verse, and please stop me if I talk too much, if I ramble, you tell me, and stop. If you want to share something, please interrupt me. Kanai is there, Uddhava is there. I like your new blog very much, Uddhavji. I love you quoted Baba's very, very wonderful verse. Without Bhav, there is no Ras. Without Ras, there is no Bhav. So without both, nothing will work. So very beautiful. So I'm glad you're here also to help me go deep into this wonderful, wonderful verse. Okay. Padabjayos tavavina varadasyameva nanyat kadapi samaya kila devya che. Sakyaya te mamo namostu nityam. Eternally I will forever give obeisance. Sakyaya te mamo namostu nityam dasyaya te mama rasostu satyam. So Srila Raghunath Das Goswami is hammering this verse into our heart that we will never forget it. Oh Goddess, I shall never pray to you for anything else but the excellent service of your lotus feet. I offer my constant obeisances to the idea of becoming your friend, but I really relish the idea of becoming your maidservant. So we can stop here shortly, because Raghunath Das Goswami Pad, he put in this verse alone so many points. We don't, there is so much in this, so deep. So we will go slowly by slowly. And if we need 2 classes, we take 2, but we go slowly. So Baba sometimes says, oh Goddess, So we can ask, why is he saying, oh goddess? Are we now praying to Lakshmi? Are we praying now to the majestic aspects of the female aspect? No. Here, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami is hinting that in the midst of all the maturya, of all the sweetness there is in Vrindavan and in Manjari Bhav and in Raganuga Bhakti, we should always be conscious that there is also Aishvarya. But it is like that. It is just a little bit in the ocean of Madhurya. So the sweetness is so overwhelming that this little aspect is like a huge ocean is going over a very small island. But it is very important to understand that the worship of Swamini is not just a mental, emotional, oh, I love you, this kind of thing, because there is tattva also there. Because what is Raghunath Das Goswami saying here? Oh, goddess means that there is, Radhika is the origin of all goddesses and all Shakti aspects. Krishna is Shaktiman and Swamini is Shakti. So all the female personalities, Lakshmi, all the goddesses in Dwaraka, Durga, all the expansions of Srimati Radharani. So she is the fountainhead even of our own spiritual form. We are also tiny, tiny expansions of her most beautiful form. Each Manjari is a personification of an aspect of her beauty. Rati Manjari is the personification of the attraction. Rasa Manjari is the personification of all rasa. Vilasa Manjari is the aspect and the personification of all that is playful. So therefore, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami here is saying goddess, so that we understand it's not just an emotional worship of some, concocted idea of a deity. He's not in the Bhagavatam, someone may say. She's not in the Bhagavatam, all these things, but she's there. But Shukadev Goswami was not able to pronounce her name. Otherwise, he would have fainted. So Raghunath Das Goswami, he wants to advise us here, be careful not to walk on a path of Sahajism, to take everything lightly and easily. So he is remembering us, hey, Swamini is the fountainhead of all there is in terms of Manjari Bhav, in terms of female expansions. She is the personification of Ladini Shakti. So therefore he's saying like that, oh goddess, I shall never pray to you for anything else but the excellent service of your lotus feet. So this is the alpha and the omega of Manjari Bhav sadhana. Service to the lotus feet of Swamini. Here in this world, we try to serve the ones who are near and dear to us, who are in our so-called occupation. I am a teacher, so my duty is to serve my pupils. Uddhava, when he was professor, his duty was to serve his students. The master is always, we always have to serve. But in the material world, it's completely misunderstood. They think they have to serve me. This is a big, big difference. Manjari Bhav means I serve them. So here, Raghunath Das Goswami is giving this. He is not praying for anything else. May all the mystic perfections come. Bhakti will kick them away, will show them the door, out you go. He's not interested in anything else but the loving service to the lotus feet of Swamini. So this sentence is so deep. It is not just any devotional service. It is the service in a very, very intimate and very personal way to Srimati Radharani. which was never revealed in such a way before Mahaprabhu appeared. Never. No? There are 5 girlfriends of Swamini. The one who love Krishna more, the ones who love both equally the same, and the ones who love Swamini more. So those Bhavalasa Rati, those are the Manjaris who love Swamini more. So Raghunath Das Goswami, Rati Manjari or Tulsi Manjari, his nickname, he is the leader, showing us this is what we want, this is our aspect, this is our aspiration. I have not realized much, but I realized that the service to the lotus feet of Swamini should durchdringen. It should reach through all our activities in our life.
Penetrate. We want to
Penetrate.
Say
thank you. Penetrate. Thank you.
And pervading, it's more fluid.
Yes.
I see that Ma Yoga Shakti is asking to read a little slower, speak a little slower.
Yes. Thank you. Sorry, I apologize. So,
Tarun, may I ask one question in this?
Sure.
When I already opened my mic.
Sure. Always.
I know from Raghavapna Chandrika, we have to, there is written that we have to understand who is Krishna, like Madhurya and also Aishwarya, to not mistaken that he is just a sweet boy.
Yes.
So so also with Swamini, I feel can be the same, no? So we have to understand what is her glories, to not mistaken her as just a beautiful girl. We can forget it at some point. If the love is overflowing, then you will automatically forget it, but we cannot mistake it. Otherwise, as you said, it will become Sahajya, right?
Yes. But of course, I also apologize using the term Sahajya. It's not correct. Sahajya is actually, when we go in this way, just 1 second, actually the term Sahajya has been very much misused. Sahajya means natural. So if you condemn someone with this term, it's actually offensive. So I apologize. I just wanted to say what I wanted to say, like Kanai said now. If we take it for granted, if you take the pastimes of Radha and Krishna as material pastimes, this danger is always there if we forget that actually they are the supreme personalities of Godhead. So this leads very easily to this understanding. If he can have pleasure with so many ladies in Vrindavan, I also can have like that. So this danger, this taking it easy to think that, I have so many emotions and I put them in the service of Radha and Krishna. We always have to check first if it is in accordance with what the Goswamis and what our teachers say. So Baba is saying this very, very wonderful sentence. Rasa is a very wonderful palace. But this palace of rasa, of experiencing the mellows of pure love, is built on the foundation of tattva. So we have to know a little tattva. So therefore, here Raghunath Das Goswami uses this, oh goddess, that we know who she really is. Thank you. And then he says, I never pray to you for anything else but the excellent service of your lotus feet. So this service to the lotus feet of Swamini, it was never there before Mahaprabhu came. When you read, when I was younger, and I was still in ISKCON, I read the poems of Vidyapati, of Chandidas, and Jayadev Goswami. So they are all in Sakya Rasa. They have all loved Swamini and loved Krishna, but they never had this access which we have now by the mercy of Swamini. Their service was not to the personal lotus feet of Swamini. So this is what Mahaprabhu gave to us. We are now in this very exclusive shelter of those girlfriends of Swamini who are very, very close with her, so close that even bodily symptoms can appear by the emotion. When Radhika is experiencing emotions, like when, this first verse, when Rupa Manjari is bitten, it seems she is bitten by a parrot. But actually, those wounds on her lips only come because Radhika was bitten by Krishna. So this verse and this example shows perfectly how close actually the Manjaris are towards Srimati Radhika. And this example was not possible in the writings of the great poets, of the great Radha and Krishna poets before Mahaprabhu appeared. So this service to the lotus feet, Raghunath Das Goswami Pad, is here aspiring for and praying for nothing else, is the highest gift Mahaprabhu came to give. So I offer my constant obeisances to the idea of becoming your friend. But I really relish the idea of becoming your maid servant. So one may say, why? It's better to be a friend, no? than to be a servant. No. Now Baba will explain why. Explanations. The transcendental revelations do not fade away from Sri Raghunath Das. Swamini stands before Tulasi and wants to offer her a friendly relationship, saying, Tulasi, please accept my friendship. You can become equal to Lalita and the others and serve both me and Shyama Sundara. So she's saying, I give you Visham Sneha, Samsneha. Here, take it. Nice cake of Samsneha, eat it. No. Tulasi then says, Oh goddess, I don't want anything else but the excellent service of your lotus feet. I offer my obeisances to your friendship. Let it stay on my head. I only want to serve you. She is refusing the friendship because she knows that Lalita and Vishaka will never have the same opportunity to serve Swamini like the Manjaris have, had, and will have. They can never come so close. Like Gurudev is always saying, you never let anyone in your sleeping room, except for the ones you trust the most. Radhika feels very embarrassed when Lalita and Vishaka come and she's disheveled, clothes are loose, pearls are unstrung. But the Manjaris, their service is to make everything right. Radhika never feels shy before them. That's another verse, which is a foundation of Manjari Bhav. When Raghunath is saying, and the Manjaris, she never feels shy before the Manjaris, but she feels shy before Lalita and Vishaka. So Tulasi refuses. No, I only want to serve you. No one but Das Goswami is so fixed in that desire for Sri Radha's service. So therefore, Gurudev is chewing all the time the words of Raghunath Das Goswami. Because Baba is saying here, no one is so fixed in that desire for Sri Radha's service. He is the one, he is the zenith, he is the peak of what can be done in aspirations. That should be our target. Such sincere eagerness cannot be found anywhere else. And why? Because Rupa Goswami said, bless my dear brother Raghunath Das Goswami, and everyone was blessing him. Guru. Such sincere eagerness cannot be found anywhere else. Sincere eagerness means that what Kanai said, what is mentioned so many times in Ragavat Chandrika, lopa, eagerness, I'm very eager for material things, but me personally, I'm more eager for material things than for spiritual things, but this has to be changed. We have to change this. Sincere eagerness to go more into bhajan. Such sincere eagerness cannot be found anywhere else. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami is an eternally liberated maidservant of Srimati Radharani. So he is the greatest authority, the Acharya of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. And by following in his footsteps, one will surely attain this service. Wow. This is a promise. This is very, very giving. This is giving very much hope. So nice. He is the greatest authority, and by following in his footsteps, therefore Srila Gurudev is always saying, read Vilapa Kusumanjali. By following in his footsteps, one will surely attain this service. What does that mean? Following in his footsteps. Does it mean to eat only, at the end, only drink buttermilk and then only eat little bread balls and starve? No. It means to have the consciousness of being dedicated to the lotus feet of Swamini. That is the point. Rai Ramananda did another way. Rai Ramananda was very wealthy, but he was a very, very trusted confidant of Mahaprabhu. So what it means to follow in the footsteps of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, it means to be exclusively fixed in our sthai bhav, in the one path that Srila Gurudev gave us. That means follow his footsteps. Without that, we cannot follow him. It's not possible. If we have different desires to fight with Krishna in the armies against Parashurama, or to be together with Mother Yashoda and Nanda Bhav and educate Krishna in Vatsalya Bhav, or whatever, we cannot follow Raghunath Das Goswami. He will not even take a buttermilk from us. He throws it away. He will not drink that buttermilk. So that, as a metaphor, so it will not be possible to follow his footsteps if we deviate from the sthai bhav of a Manjari. And this is what Gurudev is there for. He is our soul navigator. He is the captain of our ship. Of course, we have to sail the ship ourselves. Our efforts must be there. But we can trust that we have the best captain, and the wind for the sails is our sadhana. It's a mercy. It's the mercy which lets us do our sadhana. That is the wind that we can sail with. Our Guru is there so that we can follow the footsteps of Raghunath Goswami, because he himself is doing it, and his Gurudev is doing it, and his Param Gurudev is doing it, and his Par Gurudev is doing it. And down the line comes this wonderful nectar directly into our hearts through his heart, his heart, his heart, his heart, Mahaprabhu, coming down into our hearts. That is the beauty, what is Baba saying here, Sampradaya. Another word is parampara, That is the sacred path. This Bhakti Lata beach enters into our heart. And within that Bhakti Lata beach, Gurudev puts the sthai bhav. And we put on water. Not too much, not too little, right amount. So this is what is it called for, this longing to develop this sthai bhav, radik sneha, to be more leaning towards the lotus feet of Swamini. And you hear, Raghunath Das Goswami is rejecting Sam Sneha. If he's rejecting Sam Sneha, we don't have to say Visham Sneha. He is not even considering to be attracted more to Krishna when he is rejecting to be equally attracted to both. So he only wants the service to Swamini's lotus feet. That means Radik Sneha. Clear. Very crystal clear. And Baba so nicely gives us this Palashruti, this benediction, fruit of effort, benediction. One will surely attain this service. He gave the perfect example to the practicing devotees with his sadhana mai jivana, his life that was full of devotional practice. I want to think of myself as a follower of the Goswamis, like Rupa and Raghunath Das. What can I do to accomplish this? Great question. Hearing, and now comes Baba, and this is always the hopeful nectar. Hearing and chanting of the Mahavani, the great words of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, will awaken that identification as followers of Rupa and Raghunath. And there we have the secret. Many times when I was in ISKCON in the classes, how can we? Shravanam, Kirtanam. Gurudev is always saying this. Shravanam, Kirtanam, hearing and speaking. This is actually a hearing comes first. Why is hearing coming first? Because without hearing, you cannot understand anything. That is the problem. And if we hear from the right source, meaning from Snigdha and Sajati, Vaishnavas, it goes directly, without any barrier, straight into our hearts. There's no tic-tac. No, it goes straight into our hearts because it is clear. And this is the way how to do this, hearing and chanting of the Mahavani. Narottam Das Thakur is singing also in his prayers to Gurudev. When he's praying, make your words my heart. Chakutana, what is the word? Ritai Koriyo. You know, this song when he's saying, please make your words. Guru Mukha Patmava Kya Koriyo Chitete Aikyarna Koriya Mani Asa. Make the words my heart. So we can also see here the Mahavani, the great words of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami will awaken that identification. Which identification? The identification as a Manjari of Swamini. That is that identification. That is actually awakening. That identification means Svarupa Avesha. To be avesh, to be aware that Guru gave us such a wonderful gift. Svarupa Avesha. And how can we realize the Svarupa? By hearing and chanting the Mahavanis, the great words of our beloved Goswamis, Guru, Vaishnavas, from everyone. We can learn from everyone who is in the same mood and who is loving towards us. Hearing will awaken that identification as followers of Rupa and Raghunath. His very powerful words are even greater than the words of the rishis of yore. So all that rishis in the Bhagavatam who spoke for thousands of years and all that things, nothing is as powerful. His very powerful words are even greater than the words of the rishis of yore. For these words are filled with the lila rasa of the most confidential Braja Nikunjas. Now comes a very important sentence, to which even the great sages did not have access. Baffling. This should blow our mind. All these great sages, like in Radharasa Sudhanidhi is said, Brahma, Shiva, Narada, no access. And we sit here on the Sunday afternoon, access. This is really unbelievable, isn't it? So again.
Radhe?
Yes, please.
Because you say so nicely, the reason is, as you said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought us the message that the access is through the feelings and not through the intellectual message. That's what Babaji means when he talks about the Leela. I personally spent a lot of time being confused when people would teach and say, even Gurudev would say, you need to understand this and you need to understand that. And maybe that's what was happening in ISKCON when you experienced this, how to. But now I've understood that understanding is understanding with the heart. Maybe a better word is realizing, So this is the content that's transmitted to us through the parampara. It's the feeling, and that's what the old ancient scholars didn't have, like you're saying, that we have this access because of Mahaprabhu came and said, look, it's about devotion, it's not about logics.
Yes, very wonderful. Some of them may have had it. Some of them may have had access also through their emotions. If you read the poems of Vidyapati and Chandidas, they had these emotions, but not in the mood of the Manjaris, not in the mood of what we find here with Prabodhananda Saraswati. And why Prabodhananda Saraswati had it? Because Mahaprabhu gave it to him. He is a Saki. But Mahaprabhu placed it in his heart. And here we have Raghunath Das Goswami speaking, full of emotions. But you said it. Baba always said, one time he said to me, it is not something to be understood. It is something to be realized. And this realizing, this is coming when we are in the process of permanent devotion, when we try to access these feelings. And the Western world and the material world is exactly the opposite of that kind of understanding. Western world and Western philosophy is in understanding with the mind and with the intelligence. We are millions of years, at least, or hundreds of lives. We have these Western samskaras that we have to understand everything with our head, with our mind and intelligence. But actually, Gurudev has said it should be transferred down to the heart chakra, and it should be understood in the heart. That is what brought me personally, if I may share. When I read first time the books of Srila Anandadas Babaji Maharaj, I understood, but not like you said, not with my head. Something went on in my heart, and I knew, this is something really, really special, really special. So I understood it then with the heart. Before, I was understanding with the mind and thinking with the mind. And then meeting Sadhu Maharaj make it even more clear that this is not the way it goes. It should be going through the heart, like Uddavaji very beautifully said. It should be going through our heart. Otherwise, it's not possible. It cannot reach. Baba is saying there's a really, really wonderful explanation in Madhurya Kadambini. I think even in the first verse, Baba is saying that bhakti can only enter through the way of the heart, not really, not with any other connection. It's a very beautiful, I can post it on Radha Dasam. This is a very beautiful paragraph where Baba is saying, the heart is the receptacle for bhakti. When he is talking about Madhurya Kadambini means the shower, the cloud bank of nectar shower. It's a translation of Madhurya Kadambini. A sweet nectar shower, a cloud bank of sweet nectar shower. And these nectar showers, they cannot enter into our intelligence and not into our mind. It can only enter into the heart. It is never said the Bhakti Lata Beach has to be understood. It is said the Bhakti Lata Beach is given. That is also a very interesting point. It means you don't have to have any qualifications. It is not something to be earned, something to be bought or qualified. It is given to those the Guru sees worthy. And this worthiness is only one thing, humility. It has nothing to do with being learned or being super advanced. No, the Bhakti Lata Beach is given, kon, the verb in the Bengali translation of that beautiful verse. After wandering through millions and millions of lifetimes through universes, the sadhaka arrives, and Guru is giving the Bhakti Lata Beach. Look at it, the verb is kon, and kon means to give. It is not something that is already there, but something which is given. And then it is very clear. This has only the place, the heart. Mm. So this feelings and emotions. Thank you.
Sorry for interrupt.
No, don't apologize.
No, I have no good idea to say something, but it is too schnell für my Yoga Shakti, bitte. Etwas.
Yes. Okay. Slower.
Sie schreit Hilfe immer.
Yes. Okay.
Danke, Tarun Bhava, du bist so wunderbar.
Sorry. Yeah. The mode of passion, Yes. Slower. Okay. Yeah. So this heart, like Uddhavaji said, we have to receive this beautiful gift of Mahaprabhu with our heart. And in America, Srila Gurudev was giving a lecture in 2010, and he said that this container is the heart, and the material of that container should be humility. And if the heart is made out of humility, this beautiful gift can enter into the heart and it can stay in the heart. But if this, Gurudev said, if this container has holes, it cannot stay inside, like water cannot stay in a container with holes. So the holes is our consciousness, which is penetrating this container. Useless thoughts or something like that, aparadas, I don't have to go into that. Everyone knows how to make a hole. So you know that. So Gurudev said you have to be careful that this container, which the material is humility, should never be with a hole. And then bhakti can enter nicely into this container. So we continue. I try to read slowly. Hearing and chanting
Radhe. Now I have a wonderful intention to say something. Come in my heart. With this, my mind, it's always crazy. And I have learned in the last year that I be very achtsam, very careful, which people I connected. This I have learned. Oh my God! When I go to the big family party, then after very crazy, and then it's so difficult, and it needs many days for clearing now my mind always, and it's a little tricky to find out in the last year. Okay, I'll be very carefully which people I want to connect. It's very difficult for me, but I have also many old friends and other circles, and I'm not so much, ich bin nicht so interessiert, also interest and this, and it's changing in me. Very, very deep in changing now. I'm in the changing process. Thank you for these inspirations, also with Gurudev, with the Zoom, and with all these wonderful things. Yes, thank you, Radhe.
But we have to be careful. I agree that the association is very important, but it is also very important not to be too much black and white. So I also have a lot of friends from the older times. I have no family except the family of Govinda Priya, and my parents died, but I still have a lot of, you can say, normal friends, if you want to say it. And I like them very much, but it's true. It is not the same as when you associate with Vaishnavas, but you have to be very realistic, and you have to be honest, and you have to be authentic. So when you associate with people who are not interested in Krishna or Bhakti, you have to protect yourself, and you have to be inside very humble and nice and loving, and not ride their wave, not jump on their bicycle of their values and their conceptions, but be very, like Gurudev said, yes, you are right, very humbly, what is the aspiration from those people, which is fine, because they had not the mercy yet, but we can give them the mercy alone by our association, not to be arrogant, but alone when they have our association, when we bring them prasadam and we are there. So I stopped thinking this black and white stuff. So I am in this material world. I need to have contact with people who are not in spiritual life. So this is the challenge everyone has to face. Even family members can be very averse or inimical to bhakti. But this is not something which you should make a huge thing out of it. In Germany, we say, mach kein Fass auf. You should be very, very cool and calm and just be nice and be loving. Govinda Priya's parents, we usually go to them and we play cards with them. So we serve them in that way because we love them. And this gives them also pleasure. So in that way, we make their life also a little bit more happy, although it is not an item of the 64 bhakti items of Rupa Goswami. He's not saying play cards with your in-laws, but he says be loving. And he says actually there are only 2 rules. Never forget Krishna and always remember. So whatever you do, just follow these 2 rules. And I know the more we associate with those who have not our conception of life, the more we become influenced. But it is upon us to make a wall, make a strong aura around ourselves, so not to be influenced by these things. So I had a high school reunion, 35 years of high school. So I went there and I went back, and it was a nice time. But I realized the emotions are still there, and you have to accommodate these emotions again and go back and do your bhajan. So this is what Krishna wants from us. Krishna is not telling you to sit in the forest and do nothing. He said to Arjuna, fight. He said not give up all association, sit in the forest and bhajan. Try 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then finish. So he said, follow your duty. What is the duty of your life? Follow that. And be always aware, always to remember Radhika and never forget her. Those 2 things are the guidelines beyond all the 64 items of bhajan. And if we are honest with ourselves, we know when the mind is deviating. I know that if I have too much association with those who are completely opposite of our scale, I get influenced. So I have to do more bhajan and come back more. But this will go on as long as I am a part of this world. Artificially renouncing your way of life will never lead to anything. I witnessed many people thinking, okay, now I go to Radhakund, finish. Everything is done. How long it will take? 1 year, 2 years, and back they are. And some of them gave up bhakti yoga altogether. So it is always better to be very realistic and stop thinking in black and white and try to give them your association by being loving and being nice. And then you also feel very nice. It's not, I'm not going there to take association. I don't need this. Every one of us is so much it's fun, of course, to do it, but also you have to give them something. You have to give them their love. And then you get them back also. Maybe not even through them, but Swamini is giving you love because you serve them. So I see it like that, because otherwise I cannot exist in this material world. I cannot do this without this point of view. Otherwise we have to go all to Vrindavan and finish. But this is not honest. And for me personally, it's not real. I hope I speak not out of, So this is, everyone has his adhikar. Everyone has his stage of realization. So as long as you are connected, Baba, my Gurudev was reading the newspaper every day. But he was realized. He was not influenced. We should become like the lotus leaf. When we go in the water should not make us wet. That is a good example. Sometimes we get wet, and then we have to try our shirt, and we have to try again our trousers. But the more we do it, the more we know what to do and what not to do. So we continue. Thank you for the input. We continue. His powerful words are even greater than the words of the rishis of yore. For these words are filled with the lila rasa of the most confidential brajanikunjas, to which even the great sages did not have access. So here Baba is saying that these words are not just words of any lila, of any rasa, but the rasa of the most confidential Braja Nikunjas. And who is there? Radha, Krishna, and the Manjaris. And sometimes maybe the Sakis can stand outside and watch and come a little bit maybe near and this and that, but nobody else has access to these most confidential Braja Nikunjas. The Kinkaris know even better how to attain Radharani's food service than Radharani herself. How is this possible? Because they are so much one in thoughts and feeling that it is automatically revealed in the hearts of the Manjaris. Radhika doesn't have to say anything, the Manjaris do. Like, in Atlantis, telepathy was standard. It was the standard way of communication. So why, you can think, if Atlantis, they have been so much advanced. In the spiritual world, the eyes can say everything, and it is in the heart. So the communication is going from heart to heart, and the Manjaris know better than Swamini. Baba is making here the point that they are so close with Radhika that automatically the seva is revealed. When to fan, when to do anything. This is all in the heart automatically revealed. The 6 Goswamis are all perfect, eternally perfect maidservants from the groves of Braja. Therefore, it is required to follow in their footsteps. So, Srila Gurudev is always saying, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, he is a Manjari. And this is actually all the Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas are Manjaris. Be aware of that, and we should follow them. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami's love can be understood through this Vilapa, this book. For this reason, we are discussing Vilapa Kusumanjali. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami prays, Ha Devi, please give me the excellent service of your lotus feet. This service is so excellent because it is completely free from shame and reverence, and it is very luscious. Nice points. It is free from shame because Radhika never feels shame before the Manjaris, and it's free from reverence because the intimacy between the Manjaris and Radhika is so sweet that there is actually no border. There is no borderline in their emotions. The creeper, the Manjaris, the buds and the flower, they are so close. There is not much difference, no much boundaries in their emotions. So reference is not there. And luscious, of course, it is luscious because it engages all the senses. Such service cannot be found anywhere. But now it is given as a special token of mercy of Sri Gaura Sundara. Like Uddhavji said before, this is the mercy of Mahaprabhu. This confidential Braja Nikunja Leelas, the entrance and the understanding and even the discussion of them is the great gift of Mahaprabhu. Srila Raghunath Das is a Nitya Siddha Kinkari and the guru of the Gaudiya Sampradaya. These are heavy words. The beautiful and sweet service of Sri Radha is also most dear to us. Of all kinds of servanthood, the servitude of Sri Radha is the greatest. Why? Why? Because Bhavala Sarati means it is the highest servanthood, the greatest servanthood, because the Manjaris feel exactly the same like Radhika. No other Jiva in any rasa has the possibility to experience Madanakya Mahabhav. Simple as that. Only the Manjaris can come close to experience this beautiful love, and therefore Baba is saying, this servanthood is the greatest. Although you are a Saki, you are also a maidservant, adolescent in form and attributes, and qualified for the most intimate services. There is no other kind of servitude that can soothe the hearts of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So sometimes people misunderstand. Of course, the Manjaris are also Sakis, but not all Sakis are Manjaris. That is the thing to learn. All Manjaris are Sakis, 100%, but not all Sakis are Manjaris. Lalita and Vishaka and Ananga Manjaris, they are not Manjaris. But Radhi Manjari, Rupa Manjari, and all the Manjaris, they are Manjaris. There is no other kind of servitude that can soothe the hearts of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. You can see Baba is so much in his Daibhav. He's not deviating 1 single inch from that. The Manjaris are actually taking part in the Madhura Rasa, but still it is servitude, meaning they don't experience that what the Saki experience. For their service is within the scope of the Madhura Rasa. So Baba here wants to say, they are in Madhura Rasa, but they don't enjoy the company of Krishna. They only enjoy when Radha and Krishna are together. So this is a very big difference because of servitude. Radha Dasyam. Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoipe Akute Kope Ham Bhujapo Se Yukala Piriti. When will I, by following in the footsteps of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath Goswami, understand the love of Radha and Krishna? Narottam Das Thakur. Rupa and Raghunath Dasa's bodies are made from tip to toe of Yugala Ujjvala Rasa, splendid consciousness of the divine couple. How eager their hearts were. How can one become absorbed in this splendid consciousness without being full of this Ujjvala, Yugala Ujjvala Rasa? Very interesting. How can one absorb in this splendid consciousness without being full of this Yugala Ujjvala Rasa? And now Baba is giving us a very nice clue and help. Meditation on the Kam Gayatri is very helpful for entering into this mood. Why? Because Gurudev, he got the mantra, Kam Gayatri, Gopal mantra, he got those mantras, especially the Kam Gayatri. He got that mantra from his Gurudev. So, and it is said that actually the mantra is not different from the one who is referred to. So the Kam Gayatri here, Baba is saying, Kam Gayatri gives us entrance into this mood. Which mood? Yugala Ujjvala Rasa. Which mood? Manjari Bhav. So Gurudev is placing all his love, all he got in his heart, all his love in Sthai Bhav, Manjari Bhav. He is giving the disciple in their hearts via medium of the mantras we receive, especially the mantra Kam Gayatri. Kling Kama Devaya Vitmahe. You know this. Pushpabanaya, the one who shoots with 5 arrows. And it is said that in the Gopal mantra, Kling Krishnaya Govindaya, and in the Kam Gayatri, all your relationship is there. And by repeating, the Bija mantra is the one who is letting it flow and bloom. So by doing, therefore, I made myself the job. Whenever I made myself the promise. I try to keep it, never ever to skip in the Diksha mantras. I really highly recommend to every one of you, if you receive the Diksha mantras, even if you are in a very precarious situation, try to chant them every day. And Baba told me, if there is not possible to do with we have malas, chant them on the fingers, but never leave them out, because it means to skip out. The Diksha mantras are the pipelines going through your heart. And if one day you miss that, it's very difficult. It will be very difficult. You will see. So this is I have not realized many things, but this one I realized. Try to always be fixed in chanting your Diksha mantras every day, if possible, without fail. Even Baba said to me, if you cannot chant it on the mala, bus, hospital, driving, whatever situation there may be, some emergency, whatever, try to chant them on the fingers, but chant them every day. Baba is making this point here very clearly. This Kam Gayatri especially is giving us entrance into this mood, because all our aspects, our Ekadash Bhav, our Sitadeya is buried, is hidden, is in that mantra, and it comes to fructification by you can sit down and you ask yourself, why I'm repeating the Kam Gayatri mantra 10 times or 108 times if you chant them on the mala. It's always the same mantra. What is going on? This is boring. But actually this means you fortify the pipeline. You make a very strong pipeline that this bhav can flow into your heart. This is what we do with the Gayatris. We build this pipeline and we make it strong and strong and strong every day. And the more we do this, the more we are connected to the Ishtadev of that mantra. And we pray to Krishna. Kam Gayatri and Gopal mantra is Krishna mantra, I know, but it's actually Radhika's mantra, because we pray for the service of the lotus feet of Swamini. So these Diksha mantras are so powerful, especially if you receive them in a proper functioning sampradaya, unbroken up towards the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu, which we are in a very fortunate position to have. So Baba is saying, Vrindavana aprakrita navinamadana kamabicha kam gayatri yara upasana. The transcendental, Chaitanya Chaitamrita, Madhya 8, the transcendental youthful Cupid of Vrindavan, Krishna, is meditated upon and attained by the Kam Gayatri mantra, which has the Kama beach, the seed of transcendental desire, joined to it. He who makes the devotees forget the material world and who maddens them with his transcendental form, qualities, and pastimes is the transcendental youthful Cupid. And on him we meditate, Dimahi. So here Baba is saying that we attain Krishna, but we don't want to attain Krishna, we want to attain Swamini. So here we have to understand that this, when Baba is saying, let me check again, is meditated upon and attained. So this transcendental youthful Cupid, we attain that, but he is not the transcendental Cupid without Radhika. Without Swamini, he is not the all-attractive transcendental Cupid. So we attain him only in the company of Swamini. That is our way. That is our staipa. We only want to be with Krishna when Radhika is there. Otherwise, no. So that means the attainment of Krishna means for us that we can be with Krishna, but never without Swamini. Always as a shadow of Swamini. Gayantam Drayate Yasmat Iti Gayatri. That which liberates by being sung is a Gayatri. The worship with the Kam Gayatri mantra is meant to save us from material existence and to make our bodies, minds, and life airs fit for relishing the flavors of Radha Govinda's transcendental pastimes. So how is this going to be? And to make our bodies, minds, and life airs fit. It's very easy. The Kam Gayatri and all Gayatri mantras help us to realize our Siddha Deha. That is what is meant here. To make our bodies fit for relishing the flavors of the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, we need the perfect vehicle. We need a spiritual body. So, and like Narayan Maharaj said, the process of Diksha is not finished until you realize your Swarup. So Siddha Pranali, the revelation of the Siddha Deha, is included in the full process of Diksha. Otherwise, this sentence makes no sense. Chanting the Kam Gayatri mantra makes our body, mind, and life airs fit. Our body cannot be made like that. This is a material body. So here Baba means the Siddha Deha. Meditating, when you chant your Kam Gayatri and your Krishna mantra and Radha mantra, you always should sit down and think that you are the Manjari. Best with your name. In his spiritual absorption, Raghunath Das submits to Swamini's feet. Let me meditate how you overwhelm Shyam with your ecstatic place in the Kunja. This is the favorite part of the Manjaris. They want that Radhika wins. But even you are unable to bring him back to consciousness. You will need me. Gurudev is always saying, wow, Radhika needs the Manjaris. You have a very important part to play. Very important. During his loving pastimes in the Kunja, Shyam faints of ecstasy because of encountering the waves of Radhika's vast Madana Mahabhav. So only she can achieve that result, that Krishna, he faints. That is the Madanakya Mahabhav. Only Swamini is able to do that. But Anuragavati, passionate Radhika, is not satisfied yet. So here, some excellent service is required. Swamini thinks, Tulsi, I cannot break Priyatama's swoon. So I cannot wake him up. Why don't you please come? Where else is such confidential service to be found? No Saki can be called right now. There is no telephone number now for the Sakis. It's not possible. The Sakis cannot be called now. No way. It will be so embarrassing. She can only call the Manjaris. Where else is such confidential service to be found? Now Baba is saying, even Lalita and Vishaka cannot attain this. This is the most excellent service. Radhika is called Devi in this verse because she takes part in such playful sports. Another explanation for the word Devi. Interesting. If anyone wants to ask something and share something, please interrupt, okay? Say something. Once the divine couple plays a game of dice for wager, Würfelspiele, she who gives the most joy wins. Shyam is defeated. On Radharani's indication, the maidservant begins to deride Shyam. To deride means to ridicule him, saying, oh hey, don't come here to play dice anymore. Better you go and herd the cows. Understand? For cow herding, you need the cow's brain. So you can imagine the great sages of yore and the great rishis of yore, they all spoke eloquent and elaborate prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And also the Vedas personified offered multiple prayers. And here the Manjari say to Krishna, come on, more or less, they saying you have a brain of a cow. That is what she's saying. She's saying like, let me see. For cow herding, you need a cow's brain. You must have become like them because of too much association with them, with the cows. Qualifications are indispensable. Go and play there, where bodily strength is required. For this game, you need some brain. You understand? Don't come here to play this game anymore. So who can talk to Krishna like that? Impossible. This is really very frank and very, Shyam is embarrassed by these joking words. And we can imagine there's no limit to Swamini's ecstasy. She's laughing because she knows Krishna enjoys this very much, this very heavy joking words. He loves it. Shyam is embarrassed. There's no limit to Swamini's ecstasy. This is the most excellent service. What a sweet subject of meditation. How can servitude ever be supreme when it is anointed with Mathura Rasa? Without being in Mathura Bhav, a sweet spiritual mood, one cannot enter into Radha and Krishna's pastimes, picking up where Uddhava has said this. Without this bhav, without developing...
Radhe?
Yes.
Papa?
Yes, please.
I like to share my
please.
Now, my dear. Thank you very much for your wonderful explanations. And I always have, you gave me always interesting tips how I can improve my bhajan. And now when you are talking, my dear, I thought, yes, when the Manjaris are talking like this to Krishna, this is a sign that there must be so deep trust, so closeness, deep love when you talk to someone. The trust that he knows it's a game, the trust that his love will increase, knowing this, and the trust and the knowing that Swamini will enjoy this. Wow, that means so much closeness and so much love between all them, all together to do like this. It's so wonderful. Thank you, my dear.
Radhe, Radhe. This is Bhava. Bhava's mercy is flowing. Radhe. Everyone can feel.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Very nice point. Very nice point.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Radhe, Radhe. The love is flowing in such a way.
Now Baba is making this point. Only those who know the feelings and the thoughts of Bhava Maya, Krishna, and Bhava Mai, all emotional Radhika, can enter into this. So here we have to say goodbye to intelligence and mind and focus on the heart. Otherwise we cannot enter that. It is actually a sadhana of emotions, but we have to transform our egoistic and enjoying emotions to the emotions of the divine couple. Like here, our Rasheshwari said, there has to be so much deep connection between all those participants of that Leela that such a flow can start. If Lalita and Vishaka would be there, or Mother Yashoda, or whatever, it is not possible in such a setting that love can flow so unrestrictedly. It's not possible. So Baba is explaining why only those who know the feelings and the thoughts of Radha and Krishna can enter into this. The maidservant don't want Krishna alone, not even in their dreams. Now this Baba is coming to the importance and the more or less definitions why Manjari Bhav is so important. They pray to Krishna, please take me along wherever you play your loving pastimes with your Priyaji, so that I can engage in your loving service. Srimad Rupa Goswami Pad is saying, the Kama Rupa Raga Bhakti, Raganuga devotion, in the erotic amorous mood is of two kinds. Sambhoge Chatmika, devotion full of desire to enjoy with Krishna personally. Example, Lalita, Vishaka. And Tat Bhave Chatmika, those who are not eager to personally enjoy with Krishna. Tad Bhave Chatmika Tasam Bhava Madhurya Kamita. These devotees are finding more happiness, those who are Tat Bhave Chatmika, those who love not to enjoy personally with Krishna. These devotees, Rupa Goswami is saying in his Nectar of Devotion, these devotees are finding more happiness in assisting Krishna's direct lady lovers, like Radha and Chandravali. He mentions Chandravali, but it's not for us. Like Radha and Chandravali, in meeting Krishna, than in meeting him personally. Examples are Sakhis like Lalita and Vishaka. Their sthai bhav, intrinsic permanent mood, is Krishna Rati, love for Krishna. More. Those are the more for Krishna. And there's Surit Rati, love for the friend, like Radhika. That is a Sanjari bhav, a feeling which roams within the sthai bhav, in the main feeling. So the sthai bhav of Lalita and Vishaka is more love for Krishna. And within that love, sometimes they also love Radhika. But their main bhav is Vishamsneha, more love for Krishna. They love Krishna first. And that love is infused in Radhika. During Purva Raga, Sri Radha met Lalita and the Sakhis on the bank of the Kali Radha. Because they had the same mood, they became acquainted with each other that day. But when the gopis saw the superiority of Sri Radha's love for Krishna, they wanted to become happy by arranging for her meeting with Krishna. Krishna then told his friend Subal, how many hundreds of Braja gopis didn't I see under the shade of the Kadamba tree on the bank of the Jamuna on the day I subdued the Kaliya snake? I tell you, old friend Subal, I was so startled that I didn't know whether it was day or night. Amongst them, there were about 2 or 4 Jew-like girls. And then among them, there was again one particularly mind-enchanting girl. She entered my mind, and the resultant smoke of Cupid did not allow me to sleep anymore. I am now constantly meditating on her. Who knows how the pain of separation feels? My body becomes skinnier and weaker every day. Govinda Das, from whom that poem is, such are the ways of new, young love. Srimati showed similar loving attachment when she first saw Shyam Sundar. When I saw this crown jewel of lovers, I did not know anymore whether it was day or night. Who can I tell about my heartache? Oh, Saki, what more do you want to know? I told you what's on my heart. When he will meet with me, then I will feel fulfilled. And if not, then I cannot live anymore. This is definite. The Sakis like Lalita and Vishaka are getting more ecstasy from establishing the meeting of the Anuragi, eager couple, Radha and Madhava, than from meeting with Krishna themselves. Chandravali, for example, is again different. She gets more pleasure from meeting Krishna alone than from meeting with Krishna themselves. And in this way, their love has become known as Tat Bhavejatmika love. Still, Sri Radha sometimes desires to give them the position of Nayika. So that is a difference. That is the difference between Lalita and Vishaka. They are also Tat Bhavejatmika. That was my mistake before. They are not the example of Sambhoga. Sambhoga would mean someone who is enjoying with Krishna directly, like Chandravali. But Lalita and Vishaka, they are also Tat Bhavejatmika. But Radhika sometimes wants them to be the lady love. That means that she sends them sometimes to enjoy with Krishna. Still, Sri Radha sometimes desires to give them the position of Nayika, lady love of Krishna. But although the Manjari are also a kind of Saki, they never accept such a role. So this is the big difference. Even in this category of Tat Bhavejatmika, those who love Krishna more, those who love Radha and Krishna more, and whose sole existence is to bring the divine couple together. Lalita and Vishaka, both, and the Manjaris, both aim to bring Radha and Krishna together. But sometimes Swamini tells Lalita and Vishaka to enjoy with Krishna personally. Imagine that. Imagine that limit of love. She's not feeling any jealousy. Here in this material world, you would go crazy, no? But in the spiritual world, whatever makes Krishna happy, Radhika is arranging for that. Just imagine this in the material world. The woman is arranging for that for her husband. Everyone would go spellbound crazy. So this is the huge difference of pure love and material love. So we have glimpses here also, but the true spiritual love is that sometimes Lalita and Vishaka, they can become Nayikas, meaning they can enjoy with Krishna themselves. Now Baba is giving the nice definition. Still, Sri Radha sometimes desires to give them the position of Nayika, lady love of Krishna, but although the Manjaris are also a kind of Saki, they never accept such a role. The Manjari buds, like, enhance the beauty of a flower, gopi, but are never separately enjoyable to the black bee, Krishna. So Krishna always wants to enjoy the flower, not the buds. The buds only make the flower more beautiful. Lalita and the Sakis have some sneha, equal love for Radha and Krishna. But the Manjaris are Radha Snehadika. They have more love for Sri Radhika. So before we heard that they have as their Sdai Bhav love for Krishna, and the Sanjari Bhav, which is coming and going, is also love for Swamini. But now comes the opposite. Within Madhurya Ras, there can also be an example where actually the opposite is the case. So now Baba is explaining Bhavalasa. Lalita and the Sakis have some sneha, equal love for Radha and Krishna. But the Manjaris are Radha Snehadika. They have more love for Radhika. This kind of love is called Bhavalasa. Srila Rupa Goswami states in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 2.528, when the Sakis love Radha as much as or less than Krishna, then their Sanjari Bhav is called Krishna Rati. But if they love Radhika more, then it is called Bhavalasa Rati. Again, when the Sakis love Radha as much or less than Krishna. So that means Samsneha and Vishamsneha. Then their Manjari Bhav is called Krishna Rati. But if they love Radhika more, Radhik Snehadika, then it is called Bhavolasa Rati. The Manjaris are endowed with this Bhavolasa Rati, to love Swamini more than Krishna. And actually, this is also their Sthayi Bhav. This is their permanent mood. Srila Rama Thakur inquired from Srimati Thakurani about this Bhavolasa Rati. Ramai Thakur said, disciple of our Janava Thakurani, please tell me more about Bhavolasa Rati. Mother Janava said, listen carefully, O son. Bhavolasa Rati can only be found in Vrindavan. Vrindavan, where Kishora eternally sports with Kishori. Vrindavan, where Kishore eternally sports with Kishori, cannot be perceived even by the Devas. Sri Rupa Manjari and Sri Rati Manjari are absorbed in the ecstasy of devotional service day and night. They are all endowed with Bhavolasa Rati, and they are only happy when the divine couple is happy. They don't know anything else but that. They are completely equal to Srimati. Only their bodies are different. They are one soul and one life air, and they are all controlled by Radha. For this we have to read often, and then we understand this closeness, why the love bites of Swamini's lips can appear on the lips of Rupa Manjari, because of this Bhavolasa Rati. They are completely equal to Srimati. Only their bodies are different, because they are expansions of Swamini. They are one soul, one life air, and they are all controlled by Radha. One who wants to relish Krishna's sweetness to the utmost must take complete shelter of Sri Radha. Why? Can someone explain why? It's a very beautiful point. Why is Baba saying this? One who wants to relish Krishna's sweetness to the utmost must take complete shelter of Sri Radha. Please, someone join in.
Tarun, you know so well, but you want to hear from somebody else.
I know well. I just want to not speak alone whole day. Maybe someone can join.
So I guess maybe correct me, but I guess because Radharani, she can serve Krishna to the utmost. Nobody can take that position from Srimati. This is already taken. And if you want to feel her feelings to the utmost, you have to become a kinkari of her.
Yes.
Because then she will share these feelings from the deepest chambers of her heart with you. And this is happening only, like Gurudev is always mentioning, the Manjaris are the babies of Srimati Radhika. That's why they can be in the most intimate place. If a couple will do their most intimate things, they will never be shy in front of their child, who is so innocent, doesn't know anything. When it grows up, something can change, but as long as a baby, so the Manjaris are like the babies. She not feels shy. She can share everything, and they are most similar to her, like Tarun just said. They are one soul. They are part of her being, of her existence. Each Manjari has a different quality of Srimati, especially. So they can feel it to the utmost, I guess. Tarun, please.
Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful explanation. Thank you. Wonderful. Very beautiful. Also, you can add that to relish Krishna's sweetness. When is Krishna's sweetness at the utmost? When he is together with Swamini. That's all. So both are extremely important. What you said is better and higher. And then also that when you want, the Manjaris Baba will explain now, they don't want to relish Krishna's sweetness alone. But factually, Krishna's sweetness shines at the utmost when he's together with Radhika. Gurudev always saying like that. When he's not together with Radhika, he's not as beautiful as when he is together with Swamini. Sripad Prabodhananda Saraswati writes in Radha Rasa Sudanidhi, where is Radha, who is hard to perceive by following the Vedas? And where is Krishna, who always lives in between her bud-like breasts? Shri Radharani says, if you want to see my Sundara, you must take full shelter of my lotus feet. And why do the Manjaris love Krishna? Because he is Radhika's gallant. They don't love him on his own merit. They love him because he is the lover of Swamini. Remember Krishna in this forest as the Prana Vallabha of my Swamini. First Radha, then Shyam. When Krishna makes any trouble, we'll take him by the hand and throw him out of the kunja. We are the maidservants of Radha. Why do the Kingaris love Krishna? Because he is the lover of Radharani. Once when Krishna takes his supper in Nandishvara, a Kinkari fans him. Without being seen by others, Shyam keeps his hand on that Kinkari's foot as a means of asking her, will I meet my dearest one or not? That maidservant then places one toe on Shyama's hand, indicating that the meeting will be possible. Imagine this. This is a nice point to meditate upon. Baba is always giving these things. So one toe is telling Krishna, yes. That is the most excellent service. This is Varadasya. Nothing is done for personal happiness. Everything is done for the pleasure of the Yugala. Although the Manjaris are in the category of Sakis, they are servants because of their complete dedication to devotional service. The Sakis may have a superior position in the pastimes because they are friends, but the fortune of service is greater for the Manjaris. They know Sri Radhika's innermost purpose, and therefore they can perform the service without hesitation, like no one else in the world. This is because what Baba said in the beginning, they are one soul and one life air. Therefore, no one else can do it like that. One day, Radha and Krishna are intimately enjoying themselves in a kunja, and the Manjari relishes the sweetness of these pastimes through a passage between the vines. It appears to the maidservant that there is some obstacle in Radha and Krishna's pastimes, but they don't notice anything out of ecstasy. The maidservant then notices that Radha and Krishna got stuck to each other with their hair. So very carefully, she enters the kunja so as not to disturb them. We can all now close our eyes and imagine this, how she goes in tiptoeing like that, So very carefully, she enters the kunja so as not to disturb them. Only the Manjaris can do this, no one else. And unravels the hairs so that the amorous pastimes can continue again. Who else can perform such a clever and intimate service? Even Lalita and the other Sakis don't know. This is Vara Dasya, the most excellent service, which is attained by chanting the name of Sri Radha. Jaya Jaya Radha Nama Brindavana Yara Dama Krishna Sukha Vila Seranidhi Narodam Das Thakur Bema Bhakti Chandrika. Glory, glory to Sri Radha's name that dwells in Vrindavan. And that is the jewel of Krishna's blissful pastimes. O Radhe, for attaining your most excellent service, I am taking shelter of your lotus feet, which even Shyam holds to his chest, for soothing his love-afflicted heart. O Queen of Vrindavan, I take shelter of your cooling lotus feet. Now here we are taught again by Saraswati Thakur part that we should develop Radha Nishta before entering Vilapa Kusumanjali. All these verses are from Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi. O Radha, O Queen of Vrindavan, I take shelter of your cooling lotus feet, which are filled with all the nectar honey of pure love, and that even Madhupati, the sweet Lord, the Lord of sweetness, Sri Krishna, keeps to his heart to soothe his terrible, loving affliction. Sri Radhika protects Sri Krishna's senses. That's why she is a gopi. The verbal root gup means protecting. So Sanskrit, again, so many layers of meanings. So she truly is the highest gopi. Sri Radhika protects Sri Krishna's senses. And how she does it, we all know. Giridhari does not feel the slightest distress while lifting Govardhan hill. Why? His pleasure potency stands before him and solves everything. This is Rasa Tattva par excellence. You know, you can study the paintings of that picture where Krishna holds the whole thing on his mount. Oh my God, how strong is Krishna? How wonderful is the Supreme Personality of God, that he is the strongest and the mightiest. But Baba is saying, no, my dear, no. He can only hold up that mountain because Ladini Shakti is nearby him. How beautiful. This is Rasa, this art, artist of perspective. You know, the art of perspective. Nothing is wrong and nothing is better. Just different. And different also in the experience. Those who experience the mighty power of Krishna are happy. For sure they are happy. But those who experience that he actually is only as strong as that because leisure potency, Radhika is nearby, are also happy. And Mahaprabhu confirms utmost happy. So this is wonderful. These little things, you know, you have to always remember, underline or remember. I read this verse now maybe, I don't know how many times, but still, this is, like Gurudev is saying, it all comes up again and again, like new. Sorry, again, I was too fast. I can repeat a little slower. So you see that when you see the painting, when you see the painting, I start again. When you see the painting of Radha and Krishna, when you see the painting, Krishna holding up the Govardhan hill on his little finger. So subjectively, you can feel, wow, he is the strongest. He is full of power, the mightiest, you know, wow, such a strong man. But this is Rasa. This is the perspective of Rasa. The Manjaris and the sadhakas who follow Manjari Bhav, they see it like Baba sees it. Krishna can only lift this huge mountain for 7 days because his pleasure-giving potency, Ladini Shakti, Radhika, is nearby. And he and she can stare each other unhindered. His pleasure potency stands before him and solves everything. It's funny. She's made of the quintessence of the Chintamani jewel of Mahabhav, the pinnacle of love, in sandalwood pulp or a Chintamani stone. There is no asara or useless refuse, but still her Mahabhav is the Sara or quintessence of the Chintamani jewel of Prema. The maidservants say, Shyam, do you know why you are so beautiful? Because your Priya is there. Directly. Then Govinda Lilamrita 8:32. When he shines with Radha, he is Madana Mohan, the enchanter of Cupid. But otherwise, he is himself enchanted by Cupid, although he enchants the whole world. So this is again this reference to that you can only experience you can only relish the highest aspect of Krishna's sweetness when he is together with Radha. Mounting the chariots of the gopis' desires, he stirs even Cupid's mind. Hence he is called Madana Mohan. And how can he enchant the Cupid? Because Swamini is with him. The supreme Brahman delights my mind when it is bound by the vine-like arms of the cowherd girls. Krishna is very happy when someone calls him Radha Sevak, the servant of Radha. But almost nobody says this. And Rasheshwari just told us why it is like that. Because not everyone feels the same like Radhika feels and like Krishna feels. So nobody else can say this and nobody can understand this, that he is very happy to be called a servant of Radharani, because everyone is a servant of Krishna. So how can you say that he is a servant of Swamini? Again, this is a perspective of rasa. Those who love Krishna, Radhika more are happily saying that Krishna is the sevak of Swamini, but actually she is the greatest seva Kingari, she is the greatest server. But almost nobody says this. Krishna is so much under Radha's control that he is willing to give everything to those who serve her. Again, benediction, very beautifully here, snuggled in. Sri Krishna is so much under control that he is willing to give everything to those who serve her. He is so happy. He says in the Bhagavad Gita that actually those who say that they are my devotees are actually not really my devotees, but those who say that they are the devotees of my devotees, they are the true devotees. So the Manjaris are the best devotees because they are the devotees of his most beloved. So Bhagavad Gita in action, very wonderful, very beautiful. Srila Prabhupada Saraswati writes in 155 of Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, O Shri Radhe, Madhupati, Krishna cancels innumerable offenses of anyone who even once relishes the nectarian spiritual flavor of your name. And in great ecstasy, he considers what is the greatest gift he can give to such a person. Who can then imagine the glories of someone whose mind is fixed on becoming your maidservant? Wow, beautiful. He is so happy, like I said now, like in the Bhagavad Gita, to become the devotee of my devotee makes Krishna the most happiest. So he becomes utmost happy when we say we are Kingaris of Swami. That is actually giving Krishna the most pleasure. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami says, I don't want anything else but your excellent service. If I am not qualified for your service, then please at least make me attached to this aspiration so that one day I may get it. So this is also a nice mantra for our daily life, for our daily aspiration. He really plays his really nice, his humility comes now forward, his true spiritual humility. He says, if I am not qualified for your service, who is more qualified than him? Then please, at least make me attached to this aspiration so that one day I might get it. Here he is speaking directly to all of us, directly into our hearts. We all know, I know perfectly I'm not qualified, but I take this opportunity from Raghunath Das Goswami part. I know I'm not qualified, but still I hanker after this aspiration that one day I might get it. And this is powerful enough. Never we should underestimate this longing Dasyaya te mama rasastu satyam. Let me truly have eager spiritual thirst for your service. And now there comes this beautiful, Baba always puts this, Rasika Chandra Das sings summarization of the verse. Tomara charana patma prema bhakti rasa satma dhasi bhava seva vinatara jivane marane hoya mone mora nahi chaya sakitvadi anya kichuara. Your lotus feet are the abode of loving devotion. In life or in death, I don't want anything else but a service mood towards them. I don't want friendship with you or anything else. I don't know the qualities of friendship. Therefore, O Devi, I offer my obeisance to it again and again. And if you say you don't want my friendship just because you're shy, but you actually desire it with your mind, then listen, O Devi, to my petition. This desire has never arisen in my heart. My mind is always filled with dasya rasa. That you should know for sure. So this is a beautiful summarization and what is it called? Enhancement of the beautiful verse in itself. So no need to repeat it again. So here again is also what just came to my mind. Charana Padma. This is a very oftentimes used a phrase. Shri Guru Charana Padma. Tomara Charana Padma. Always the lotus feet are the abode of loving devotion. So here the devotees is singing to Radhika that her lotus feet are the abode of loving devotion. And again, this is a sign that the bhakti is a descending process. You know, it's not an ascending process where we go with our mind and think, yes, knowledge. No, to put the head under someone else's feet, it needs humility. Otherwise, this cannot flow. The downward process, the descending process of bhakti rasa, it cannot flow. So material knowledge is usually an ascending process, an induction, you know, towards up. But actually spiritual knowledge is coming down. It's flowing downwards from the lotus feet of Swamini. And of course, on its way, it passes the lotus feet of Gurudev, so to say, metaphorically. So therefore, at the end, I always conclude we should always try to place our head beneath the lotus feet of our Gurudev, who is a perfect representative of a Kingari, of a Radha Kingari, Sadhu Maharaj, my Gurudev and Narayan Maharaj. So you should be very happy and always place your head beneath their lotus feet. Be sure that they are connected to those lotus feet here.
Radhe Radhe. I just want to share that there is this nice metaphor of the tree that is growing upside down, that the roots are in the spiritual world and yes, the fruits come through Gurudev's lotus feet down to us.
Thank you. Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Bhakti. So beautiful. Knowing full well that he will bring us to this, what Baba said, to this confidential Nikunja pastimes. Only Gurudev can navigate us to that place. Thank you so much. If anyone has a question, enhancement, comment, please share. Everyone is welcome to say something. Ask a question if there is a possibility.
I just want to say thank you so much for sharing with so much power. And even if you sometimes speak very fast, it is only so relishable because we can feel how deeply touched you are from this topic. So it's very nice to listen to you. And I very much appreciate your sharing. Thank you.
Thank you. It's Baba's Kripa.
Wonderful class, Baba. Thank you.
I would have had that too. More people should share. But it was nice. Thank you. There's a question for you, Kishori. I just saw. Kishori, can you please again share the root and the fruit, this example you gave? The tree upside down.
Maybe you can do it better, Tarun.
I'm not really. Try. Please do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not so learned, so I cannot quote a specific Shastra. I just heard from Gurudev and from devotees, beautiful, inspiring Vaishnavas like you here, that this metaphor of prema kalpataru, like this is the meaning of the wish-fulfilling tree, who is for us our Gurudev. So Gurudev's lotus feet, when we touch them, can give us this is the only thing, the only way for us to get any drop of this soft fruit juice. So if we see, but I don't know, there is for sure a Sanskrit shloka for this, or like maybe Tarun, you know better, but I just know this metaphor.
That's all it's needed. You explained it perfectly. We don't need now, Sanskrit verse. I honestly have to say I also don't need a Sanskrit example, but what you said is perfect. The tree in the material world has its roots in the ground and it grows up. But that's what you are describing has its roots in the spiritual world.
Yeah.
And it's upside down, and the fruits are hanging down. So this is actually the meaning. It's coming from up towards us down, and we have to get the fruits of that tree. By the mercy of Guru, we can get these fruits. So I don't even know where I think in the Bhagavatam maybe is this example. I forgot it. I heard it many times, but I forgot the exact placement of this description. But we nailed the essence.
So because you also said that the spiritual knowledge comes from up to down. So I remembered this metaphor of the tree that is upside down, because our world is like a
reflection. Yes.
Reflection of the spiritual world. So here everything is different, upside down, so to say.
Yeah. Also, you can see that this is actually is the greatest obstacle for the learned persons. When you meet learned persons, they always think you have to explore the universe according to our capacities of the human mind and brain. So this is what the scientists are doing in the name of science, which is actually not science. Prabhupada was very heavy with the scientists because they only try to go from their measurements of their the frog in the well. The frog thinks, oh, my well is the big, big universe, and there's nothing outside my well. So you can never gather knowledge with this, so you have to, therefore you see that not many people are joining a really deep, intimate spiritual movement. Those people are staying in movements where the deepness is not going so far, and that they can stay on the surface, because at one point, when Bhaktivinoda Thakur and when the Acharyas are talking about Sharanagati, you have to give up this tendency to understand and to measure everything with the human mind, because you will always lose. If you cannot accept that knowledge is coming from down, it's coming down to you from someone who received that knowledge. So they cannot develop this nishta. And for developing this nishta, it needs humility. Because without this humility, you say, you can tell me whatever you want. How can I know that you saw it? So, and what are the signs of a true guru? So Jiva Goswami is giving us the example of someone who is a true guru, and then we can see and we can check. And then our effort must be then to accept and to have faith in this deductive process coming down through parampara. It has no use to go up. Some things you can do with induction. Yes, of course. Little scientific problems you can solve with the material mind, but mainly spiritual philosophy and spiritual knowledge. And ultimately quantum physics and all these things, they can never solve with the material mind without being able to accept the deductive process.
Radhe, this just made me think of something. There's a really nice text by Paul Ricoeur, who is both in philosophy and theology, and he makes this distinction between knowledge and revelation. So knowledge is sovereign subject that takes and claims, but revelation is the opposite. It's like is given, not taken.
Very beautiful.
And you can only, and it's given, and it's only what is secret can be revealed. And you can only get it by surrender.
Very nice. Very beautiful, Nina. Thank you. Very good. That is what spiritual life is all about, revelation. Yes. That not in vain, Jesus, there are the revelations in the Bible, Revelation is very important. Diksha process is a revelation. Siddha Pranali is a revelation. Everything is a revelation.
It is all revealed.
Yes. Radhe, Dandavad to all of you. Thank you. I apologize for speaking too fast, speaking too much. Jai Gurudev, Jai Baba, Jai Vaishnava Vrinda, Jai.
Can I saying don't apologize for doing good things, Tarun Baba?
Yeah. I learn.
Radhe Radhe